Okay, if you mock up the 2-link on a jack, get it pretty close to centered where your rear end's gonna be, then you can go underneath and clamp the cross member to the frame so that you can start your mock-up with the rear end on it. Okay, now we have the rear end sitting on the 2-link with the cross member clamped in. We're going to raise it up and make sure that it's centered in the C-notch. We always want to make sure we don't start tacking or welding anything in on benches or anything like that before we put it in. That would be a big no-no. And once we raise it up and see that it's centered in the C-notch, then we can start doing all of our measurements to get everything perfectly centered before we start welding.
Looks good.
Alright, the rear end is centered. We found our pinion angle. It matches the tranny yoke angle. So now we can begin welding in the cross member and the rear end to our bag mounts and get everything secure.
And set the pan hard bar since we're centered.
Yep. Alright, pan hard bar is pretty basic. You just want to get it at right height. Make sure the pan hard bar is level. One side mounts to the inside of the C-notch plate. The other bracket mounts right to the housing of the rear end. Really basic.
Okay, now we got everything level. It's at right height. We set the pan hard bar. And right now what Dan's doing is installing the bottom of the lower bag plates to the bag, the roll sleeve bags themselves. Now what we're going to do is set the upper mount for the bag plates, which also is the shock mounts. And they come with 4 different alignment holes, so you pretty much get to pick and choose where you want to set it. And
we haven't welded anything solid yet. It's still tacked.
We're still in the process of tacking things in, as you can tell on the like on the pan hard bar mount. It's just tacked. Same over here, just tacked in. So again, we're gonna tack this in. Probably put some air to the airbags and watch the how exactly where we're gonna mount our shocks. And we'll be doing that next.
Hey, say that.
Alright. Now we're tacking in the upper bag mount and your shock mount. And this is totally adjustable. This is what sets the height. We've got 2 mounts for your shocks in case your shocks get a little too long or you want to run them at an angle. This is a cut to fit bar. And you got to remember that this is set up to get this truck really low. You got running boards on the side, you got a lot to think about. So you need to do a lot of mock-up on this. Okay, now that we have everything mocked up, tacked together, we're going to put the truck on the ground with the wheels on it and air the airbags up and down to find our height to be able to mount our shocks correctly so that they get the right throw, they don't bottom out or fully extend or overextend.
Okay, what Dan's doing here now is we figured out our angle for the shock. We did it on this side, so now he already marked and measured on the left side, so he's about ready to tack it in. A little more air?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, here it is. We got it all tacked in, front and back. The shocks are all mounted in. We figured out the angles on them. This is it with the air up right now. You can see the gap between the axle on the top of the step notch right there. Also, you can see the height over here on the running boards. The front isn't all the way down yet. It's about at ride height with airbags. But now if you drop the bags, and remember, like we said, this was made to get your truck pretty low, so that's about low. And you could air it up again, see the ride height. And remember, we're using the sleeve bags, so you get quite a bit of lift. And with the 2-link system, you're going to get a really good ride. And that's about it. Remember, always tack everything in, make sure it works. Get your pinion angle off of your tranny. Find it on your rear end, tack it all in. Go through the whole motions of it. And now you'd be ready to tack in. This one's complete though, this one's ready to go. And remember, we did this one at my house. It's not at the shop, so it took us about, what do you say?
4.5.
4.5 hours, 2 guys. 2.5, Todd showed up once in a while. Okay, that's it.